So hello, ladies and gentlemen, or welcome back if you are rejoining us here at the TCA. It all boils down to this. This is the last game in the gala day here at the TCA. It is Lauderdale in the black and red hoops up against Sandy Bay in the blue and white stripes here, as I said, at the TCA. Good strong tackle. So this is 2v3. Should be a very, very close game. Last time they played, it was a draw. So it was an absolute thriller, as it's being a free kick being paid here to Sandy Bay, and that's going to Oswana. Oswana kicks that deep into the forward line, and coming out taking a nice mark is Banks Smith. Banks Smith tied up on the boundary. Tough to get a goal from there. She goes deep into the forward line. Good spoil there by the Bombers. That's Bailey, who tries to get the big fist into it. Howard as well was trying to assist. And now it will be a ball up. Ball in dispute, very close to that boundary line area. You can see there the determination on the girls. Yeah, it was a thriller last time they played here, Bo, these two teams. I think it was Sandy Bay who had the lead, and then just at the last minute, Lauderdale were able to get that goal. So we're really looking forward to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, good afternoon, Hoppy, and thanks for having me, and thanks to everyone who's put this gala day together. Obviously, we saw Jim Horn in the stands before, and yeah, it's going to be a cracking match. These guys are, Sandy Bay, I believe, are second on the ladder, so it's going to be a big match.
Certainly is. And now it is ball up. Sandy Bay getting the fist to that one. They back out of the pack. I think it was Lang gets it further out to Hammond. Hammond screws that ball back. You see some determination on the faces there as they're under a fair bit of pressure. Here are the Bombers, and that one's just gone off the side of the boot there from Appleby, the vice captain. And so this time it'll be an opportunity for Sandy Bay to see if they can't draw first blood in this much anticipated under 18 game of footy here in the Barwicks Wholesale and Retail Landscape Supplies STJFL season. Good spoil there by the Bombers. Sandy Bay running in good numbers. They've got plenty of girls play at Sandy Bay. Here is Wilcox. Wilcox trying to break away. I think the tackle there was deemed to be slung on that particular time, Bo, as we see here on the Mood Food replay. I think that was
pushing the back.
Yeah, was it pushing the back?
Sling tackle, but I probably would have thought it'd be pushing the back a little bit more than that. But again, probably the right decision.
So it was the captain, Mead, leading from the front, who came in but just got into the back at the last effort and couldn't bring it in as Clifford goes the bump there for the Bombers. That's a big, strong tackle, but this time, unfortunately, just the execution of a couple of tackles has been good play by Lauderdale Bay, but just getting in the back.
Yeah,
so just a skill error.
Lindsay Roberts, the very experienced umpire, paying that. We'll get him on the mic at quarter time, I think.
So Misha Barwin, look at, she's diminutive in stature, but she's a ripper, this young lady. She has been a part of the development program. She's only very, very young, as Rawson was there, tried to pick it up, and as she didn't dispose of it properly, was Clifford, and so the free kick goes to Parsons. Parsons just gets that one out to the half forward flank. Deep into attack, Wilcox, so we're 4 minutes in. Big, strong tackle here being applied, as it'll be another ball up. Umpires have changed now, Bo. It was hard work in those last couple of games. We've got some experienced campaigners out there now.
Yeah, Lindsay Roberts for this one, and I'm not quite sure who the other umpire is, but
We'll get a
Make
name
sure
on
we
that
get
for
that.
later. Lauderdale going in very hard here. Haven't had it in their forward line yet, as the ball's been passed on, and a free kick has been paid here to Ava Rawson. Big opportunity for them to go forward. Just kicked off the ground that particular time by Lauderdale, unable to get it. Fighting very hard with Sophie Mead. Here is Mead again. She gets that quick kick, and there is their first forward thrust. Just goes inside, just pushed off the ball. I think that is Barwin back into the full forward area, and it is going close to the line and just seen it out. So nice play. I think that was Stevenson, wasn't it, Bo?
Yeah, Kai Stevenson.
Wearing number 8.
Yeah, it definitely is. Being a dangerous small forward.
Oh, here is Mead. She just evaded one very nicely, but not the second one. She reminded me of circa 1970 for Carlton, Teddy Hopkins with the long sleeve. She's got a good bit of pace about her, hasn't she?
Yeah, it's definitely reminds me a little bit of Colin Miller, the great cricketer, the funky hairdo.
As the ball comes in, and Mead, she's a very strong player, is Sophie Mead. Of course, dear old dad was a very long time life member at Diesel down there at Lauderdale. A tall forward himself. As there's a quick kick off the ground, couldn't quite get the goal. So Lauderdale have just worked their way into this game, as Mead is just fighting very, very hard. You can see the determination. She's a good basketballer as well, pushing that ball forward. But there is Sophie Lang. She mops that one up as Lang comes out here, and Barwin backing back and taking the mark. Barwin trying to spread that one further afield. Asawa there for Sandy Bay, bumps her opponent over. Good tackling as Rawson picked that one up, and all of a sudden there were blue and white Guernseys in front. Have a look at the determination, Bo, on the faces of some of these young ladies. They are going in really, really hard, aren't they?
It's great to see. It's obviously a really fierce competition. These two are one of the top echelon of the teams of the competition, and just to see the intent is early is really good.
So come inside the 50 again. Here is Stevenson. Stevenson picks that one up. She drives it long towards the goals. Didn't quite get the purchase on she would like to, but it is the opening score for the game. So we were, 7.5 minutes in, and it is Lauderdale one behind to Sandy Bay yet to score. Where we started it's been played in 2 halves this quarter so far. Sandy Bay were dominant and weren't able to get the score, and all of a sudden Lauderdale are coming back with a little bit of interest as that ball has gone to the boundary line as Barwin had kicked it. And again, it will be a free kick here going to Sandy Bay. Of course, there is one of our partners indeed that came up, Your Hobart Health, Bo, great friends of the STJFL.
Yeah, I've been sick this week, so Dr. Baldock's been helping me out as much as you are, I think. You've been a bit crook as well, I've heard, Hoppy.
Yep, we're both in isolation, and here at Duff TV we've had the COVID test before we came into the Peter Sharp Tower, and you'll be pleased to know that we're actually about a metre apart, and we've got the plastic, the perspex in between us, so all the health checks are going on here at Duff TV, and we really thank Hobart Health for coming to checking out the van and rigging it up for us to get this game underway, as that ball now is in dispute. Well played there by Sandy Bay. Ava Parsons is on all fours, just trying to bludgeon that ball further afield, but the umpire will now throw this one up.
I reckon cameraman Ben's going to have to go there after this. He's had a long day in the winter cold.
He has had a long day, and I tell you what, I just went to the canteen just to get myself a drink, and gee, they're friendly up there. Do you want some chips there, Hoppy, or would you like a dim sim with that? And I said no, but I tell you what, I'm doubting what I should have had, maybe one of those dim sims. So great food on offer here at the TCA, and we thank the Hobart Football Club for having us here for the gala day.
Yeah, Bronwyn Colquhoun does an awesome job with the canteen.
There is Lauderdale on all fours, just trying to get some width if they can. Getting it out was short. ball in dispute. Fighting very hard. Good handball to Mead. Mead, big long kick by the skipper, has just pushed it across to the side, and it is the second score. They're probably going towards the scoring end, Bo. You were out in the field at the end of that game. Would you suggest that is there any favour towards the City end?
I would say so. I think we've seen a clear a trend, particularly in the last game, that end is the scoring end. Norfolk didn't really matter because they were just dominant all day, but I think that is definitely the scoring end, Hoppy.
Okay, well done by Sandy Bay. Picking that ball up was Lang, and Barwin held on as now the ball falls free. Here is Crosby, goes deep into the attack for Sandy Bay, and it looks like that is their first score, and it is a minor one. And so Sandy Bay are up and about as well, as we just checking that Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which you see is Lauderdale 2 behinds to Sandy Bay just the 1 behind. So very even contest so far, Bo.
Yeah, it certainly is, and you see off hands here, but it hasn't been like the 2 other games, Hoppy, where it's just lived in one person's, or one team, I should say, one team's 50, which is really good to see. It's really even.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a trend on it. All of a sudden, like at the start, it seemed Sandy Bay had the dominance, and you thought, oh, this is going to be one-way traffic. Then all of a sudden, Lauderdale had done all the attacking in the second part, and here comes Sandy Bay. They're coming back now as they go forward. It's close to the line, and indeed has been seen over there by Bailey, and that brings us to a level scoreboard, and you can see 4 inside 50s apiece. So all the stats are suggesting it is a very, very close game. Ball now, Sophie Lang. Lang gets the kick deep into that forward line, and a minor score. So
great action.
Sandy Bay now just putting their noses in front, and I have a feeling, Bo, this one's going to be a close contest.
Yeah, you're certainly right, Hoppy, and a great action by the goal umpire. We'd love to see the Volunteers out here. Just talking about the Hobart Volunteers, and it goes long down the line again, favouring Sandy Bay. It
does. 12 minutes gone in this first quarter. It is the last game in the gala day for the under-18 ladies. Again, some of the future stars here. I know Mead has been part of the development squad. She's a very gifted athlete, is Mead. She's a representative in touch football, basketball, I think, and footy. So all-rounder, goes in hard. It was O'Donoghue there for Sandy Bay, as it was Adelaide. O'Donoghue throws that ball back. Only 13 minutes gone. That was Crosby. Crosby back in, and minor score. So last couple of scores have been Sandy Bay, although it hasn't been a major just yet. They'd be pretty happy that they've been able to get that ball forward. And I might suggest, Bo, that the team can probably be the cleanest in that final third, because it's very, very even over the ground, be the team that probably comes across with the victory.
Yeah, they probably need to start taking their opportunities, Sandy Bay. They've had 4 shots on goal for 4 behind, so they really need to start, I guess, producing, because this game is going to go down to the wire, we feel, and they need to start producing a little bit more than what they have been.
So comes in, strong mark taken, centre half back by Parsons, or on the wing position. Parsons, that long drop punt. Orbit in the back to Barwin. She played in front. You can see they're fighting very, very hard for the ball. And again, the umpire has no option but to say, I'll just throw it up. Mead, good tap out. Goes as far as Hammond. Hammond screws that one around the body. Barwin, she's a ripper, goes back and takes that mark. Good athlete too. She'll look to bring other players in. All the skills are on offer. That's the second bounce. Goes a kick. Well played by Barwin, and she was trying to spot. She had 3 there, and you wouldn't believe it. It's just gone over the top, and Brooke Miller really timed it nicely. It was able to take that mark. Appleby, the vice captain there for Lauderdale. And they're playing in front, taking a strong mark, is Evans Gregg. And I just thought for a minute there, Bo, she was going to evade her, but she took a very nice mark.
I I think what we've seen today, Hoppy, is a lot of good forward craft from old teams. Not even the teams that have lost have shown some really good forward craft as there's a little bit of a spillage.
Okay, so Miller gets it to Miller, who is traditionally a bit of a goal kicker, but it's just gone off to the side, and again an opportunity lost there for the Bay. But I reckon that was a set play there, Bo. I reckon they would have done that at practice. So I reckon Coach Hammond would have been a set play. If you've got someone who we know is a renowned goal kicker, let's get it into their hands.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Sandy Bay with a 3-point lead. Comes over the back. Quick kick there by the Bombers. Down the wing position. Picked up on their half-back flank, the Bay. Kept it in front with the numbers. They've got 4 around the ball, and it was Wilcox all but raffled it. Mead overruns it. Wilcox, she's travelling beautifully. Not only does she go for that first one, but gets the second possession. It's a tough ball to win here. As you can see, it's been holding in, and Lauderdale with only, 15 seconds to go. They need to hang on here, and Sandy Bay, wouldn't they just love if they could get a goal? They try and get the handball out, slung in the tackle and holding the ball. So only seconds to go. Sophie Lang, she might know that that's the case. Has to be a big kick from here. 16 minutes is up. The long kick comes in. Oh, brilliant mark there by Bowen. She's the shortest player there, Bo, and she stood tall and took that mark. Absolutely terrific play there by Misha Bowen. This is where Sandy Bay have been good. Numbers across this half forward line. It's a quick scoop up, end over end stuff, and that's just been touched through for a goal. Well, that's terrific. We'll have a look at that, Bo, on the Mood Food replay. But that goal came out of nothing. It was almost like a soccer kick, as we can see here. Look at the numbers. And the handballs come out.
I think they'll go time here, and yeah, very good hand pass. And
Molly Crosby was the young lady who kicked that one over. So I'm not sure about that one, but anyway, the siren hasn't gone, but it is full time. So at quarter time, it is Lauderdale 2 behinds to Sandy Bay, 1 goal, 5-11. So we hope you're enjoying the coverage here at the TCA. We're going to be back very shortly. We're going to take our break and all the action in the second quarter.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart Chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart Chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's Best Bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So welcome back to the TCA ground, the very, very picturesque oval right in the centre of this beautiful city. We can just look down the river there and the mountain behind us. Got a bit of snow on it, so it's a little bit cool. And we've got a very, very even contest. The only thing was that goal that came in that last quarter, Bo, in the, well, it was hopefully not too controversial, but it was deep into the quarter. I think it was just in about the 17th or 18th minute of the quarter.
Yeah, the timers actually forgot to blow the whistle there, or what we call a siren, but yeah, probably a little bit controversial there, Hoppy. I'm not sure if it should be allowed, but we go on.
So, a strong mark taken here by Lauderdale. Kicks it out wide. Ward went for the big mark. Couldn't quite bring that one in. Well played here by Sandy Bay's Lang and marked by Brooke Miller. Miller stands out like a beacon with that blonde locks. Kicks towards the big sticks and it goes over the back, and again it is a minor score. So goals at a premium so far in this match. Unable to get one yet, Lauderdale, but you feel that that's not too far away, as that is a big kick out towards the wing position. Disputed ball. Terry is the quick kicker there for the Bay, gets it into an aggressive position with Crosby, who was indeed the goal kicker late into that first term. Edmund is there, being told just trying to play that ball on. There is Edmund, who goes to get the ball again, trying very, very hard. There is Miller, and finally it is all wrapped up, and again it will be a ball up.
The great Lindsay Roberts on the mic. Good third grade play for Glenorchy. He's a very valuable fast bowler.
Oh, he came off the long run, did he, Bo?
Yeah, not sure about his batting though. He's very big, bit of a hothead when he plays cricket, so I'm surprised he's umpiring.
Oh, he shows the calmness about him, as there is Clifford. Clifford gets the Bombers inside their 50. Look at Stevenson applying that tackle. Great work by here. This is some better play here by the Bombers, but just didn't quite have the finesse to get that one over. And there is Barwin. She's been a wonderful player so far for the Bombers.
Umpired the Development League yesterday, Lindsay, so he was just telling me out in the middle he's run about 30 Ks yesterday, so big afternoon.
It was a big afternoon. It's great to see the umpires going around, and if you're interested in the caper, very rewarding, Bo, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I might have to do a bit of field umpiring, the goal umpiring maybe. Even Jerry said he likes umpiring as well, so maybe when he's not doing this stuff, Jerry might umpire as well.
Oh, he'd be like the professor, as Mead is beset upon. Goes back in to get the ball. Weighted numbers. Look at the Bay rushing at the ball. Strong tackle and great reward. That might be just the fillip that they need to the Bombers. They need someone to inspire them, to get them lifted. And now from deep in their defensive area, that was Madison Ward just to take that quick kick in. Rushing out, hard at it. Can't quite bring that one in. There's been a number of Guernsey changes which we're going to try and correct them. I went out there at quarter time, but there's just been one or two further ones, Bo, so we apologise if you've got someone who is near and dear to you and we haven't called their name, but we'll do our best to bring you all the correctness very, very shortly. As might have been just a sling there, Bo, and that's the second time that's happened for Lauderdale, and your man, the umpire, is right on the money there.
It was really interesting coming back to the van at quarter time, as we just see here, the tackle. So Sandy Bay, as we see her walk in there, it'll be behind, but it was really interesting to hear Sandy Bay did their little chant, and Coach Stuart Hammond liked the handball receives, I heard, but it was really interesting that there was a nice little cheer, like hands in, and then they yell Sandy Bay. Lauderdale equally bet them, I think. It was interesting to see. So Lauderdale have come out here with a little bit of fight.
And what was the mood like over with Supercoach Mead?
Yeah, well,
What did she have to say, Bo?
she just said, get the game back on our terms, Hoppy, and look, it'll sort itself out. But they're a very good team, Sandy Bay, so it's going to be hard, but just keep fighting.
Great to have that insight there, as it was Edmund trying to force her way to the contest. Crosby deep into that attacking area. They have been relentless, have Sandy Bay, and finally through just weight of balls going inside their 50, they were able to slot that one through for a goal. I think that was Brooke Miller who put it through, and we'll have a look at that one on the Mood Food replay. But I tell you what, Bo, it's just endless forward thrust here by the Bay.
It certainly is. We see Miller with the bleach blonde hair sticks out like a deer in the headlights, that hair, but it's all happening a little bit too easily here for Sandy Bay. Their constant inside 50 pressure is really doing them great, as we see Your Health Hobart and Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard.
Yes. Sandy Bay now really getting a bit of a wriggle on, as we just double check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which shows Lauderdale 2 behinds to Sandy Bay 2-7-19. Here is Barwon. She's a slight of body, but she's a wonderful, wonderful athlete. Goes in very, very hard. She's an absolute ripper to play alongside. But it's just here that we can see that the organisation, just at the Bombers up forward, there's a lot of players in and around the ball, but maybe just a spread as O'Donoghue comes in to try and, excuse me, take that mark. Good plan of attack here. Held a little bit too long, and the free kick here will go to the Bombers. This is Layla Nichols. Nichols quickly getting back. That's a nice kick. Here is Mead. Mead has to do it all on her own as she tries to get the push out, but the umpire says that's more than a push as far as I can see. That was a throw, as a scoop. And unfortunately Mead, so I guess the learning experience there is to clinch the fist and just try and basically bludgeon the ball as best you can, as Barwon. She's been very good for Lauderdale. Comes back over the top. Layla Nichols tried to get it. Stevenson's there. Get it out to Stevenson. You know she's going to run towards the goals. Now she's free. She gets a quick kick to it. And Stevenson has put it through. And here come the Bombers. She is a speedster and looks a likely type, Bo, doesn't she?
Yeah, certainly does, Hoppy. And just the way that she caressed around the pack there, fend off. We'll see it on the Mood Food replay in a second, but we'll just go here. We'll analyse this because it's just great forward pressure. A little bit like Jack Ginnivan with the hair, Hoppy, but shrugs off one and then dribble kick, falling over. It's never easy when you're on your way down, but great job.
It's just great determination, though. She just kept at it. That was the main thing. It's just wonderful, wonderful persistence and resilience shown by that young lady. So now the ball comes out towards Nichols, but she's beaten the ball. But great recovery there by Nichols. She just tracked her opposition, and Lauderdale, they're up and about as that big kick comes in, but just maybe had to lift the eyes. Take your time, lift your eyes, and have a look where you're going to kick the ball, as Barwon's at the bottom of the pack, front and centre.
Hasn't she been good today?
Oh, she's been terrific, and Stevenson just happens to fall over at that time. But I tell you what, she's trying to bring her teammates back with her, is Barwon.
Absolutely enormous today, Misha Barwon.
Thought she started to limp slightly. I reckon the trainers will be back out to her and making sure that she's okay. But it's maybe that half forward flank needs a bit of work there by the Bombers at the moment. Just probably playing from behind, Bo, aren't they?
Yeah, I think you're right. The Bombers are playing catch-up at the moment, and they need to start producing some goals as well as Sandy Bay, but they've been a bit inaccurate, Sandy Bay.
Yeah, they have. So they're very much in the game, are the Bombers. They've been good on the tackle, but maybe in one area that just means they're second to the ball as a strong mark.
Funny, isn't it? Yeah.
Absolute ripping mark taken there deep into defence by the Bombers. Kick further out on that wing position. Mead picks it up. Mead, in her haste to get the ball forward, that one has gone out of bounds, so a free kick here to Sandy Bay. Running around the mark. Barwin is there, trying to wrestle that one further afield was Madison Ward. Back to centre half forward or centre half back, depending on which team you're following. Through the centre of the ground now. Here is Clifford. Clifford just gets the quick kick. Just trailing behind slightly. That time was Appleby, but she'll learn from that experience. Back over, Barwin picks it up.
She's been
evades. Oh, look at this. She's got all the skills, hasn't she? But it's just that kick there that is a good, strong tackle played by Bailey for Lauderdale. That'll give her a bit of confidence. Quick handball over.
Throw. Good pick up by Lindsay.
You're not really going to pull the wool over his eyes, are you?
No, very experienced umpire, like I said, doing some development league stuff for the TSL, so very experienced.
And you can hear how precise he is too by telling the girls clearly and articulating what he requires from them, as Miller just arches the back and gets it in to the open players. Rogers thought for a minute was going to come in towards an open goal, but they're fighting hard, especially Appleby back there in defence, as Lauderdale are able to pick that ball up. And I thought for all money there, Bo, that was going to be a goal for Sandy Bay. I had the old pen poised, ready for the stats, and nothing came up because of the determination shown by Lauderdale as Nichols has taken that mark on the wing. Nichols gets the ball rolling. Excellent work there by Sandy Bay. If anything needs to be tinkered with for Lauderdale, it's just probably across that half-forward line. They're just, oh, there's a good tackle as well. And being told that just holding a little bit too long in the tackle, so free kick to Sandy Bay. Going in. End over end stuff here. Showing a good clean pair of heels is O'Donoghue. And I think she's just been pushed off the ball. And indeed, it was a free kick going to the Bombers. Layla Nichols leads out. Nichols has got possession. You can see the arm came a little bit too high, but the umpire says on that first one it was going to be a ball up. And so what have we got? 13 minutes into the second quarter. It is Lauderdale who got that last goal. It was a great effort by Stevenson. A couple of opportunities then fell to Sandy Bay, but to the credit of Lauderdale, they were able to really stand tall. Booming kick coming in. Big, strong tackle. And again,
It'll be interesting to see the inside 50 count, Hoppy. Just put Jerry under the bus there, I'm sorry, but
9-3.
9-3. Quick mover, Jerry, which we love.
Oh, he's got all the information, and well, it looks like you're in a spaceship here at Duff TV. All the computers, we've got all the stats, how far the girls have run, as we just checked. Barwin, in fact, she's just check on that. She's already done 4.8 kilometres. And she's the leader at this stage, followed by Brooke Miller for Sandy Bay. She's 4.6. So they certainly have got a wriggle on that oval, haven't they, Bo?
Yeah, they certainly have. It's a big afternoon for these girls. Probably treat themselves to a banjo, not banjos, Brighton's Best Bakehouse pie,
I would have thought they'd be straight up the highway to Brighton's Best Bakehouse to get the tandoori chicken, or whatever takes their fancies. That one, I think, just maybe hit the post. There he is.
The man that makes it happen.
Yep, Jim and Sarah. I think to be fair on Jim, I'm not sure if he's the actual brains behind the operation. He's the leader, but it's the brain to someone like Sarah. She just, she's a very smart operator. And again, great thanks to the executive of the STJFL, and especially Tony Gibson, the CEO of the whole operation. Oh, I don't know how he does it, Bowie. He's a man who, when you look at him, you think, what is wrong with his head? And then you finally look at him closely, it's a telephone, because it's always attached to his ear. He's always taking calls, always on the phone, 24 hours a day. So if you've got a question, just give Gibbo a call. Doesn't matter what time, he doesn't mind. He'll answer the telephone. As indeed that has gone over, so we'll keep our eye on the clock. We've got that, and the official one is pretty much the same. So Sandy Bay got a very, very late goal in the first quarter, but gee whiz, I thought they were going to do it again, Bo, but it's just gone to the side and through for the minor score.
Yeah, 5 seconds left on the clock here. We're a little bit faster than the actual clock, but
all right,
sure,
so
siren.
And indeed, there it goes, half time. Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard shows you that. Sandy Bay, 2-8-20, leading Lauderdale 1-2-8. Our goal scorers there is 1 to Lauderdale, and that was Stevenson with that very fast manoeuvre on the half forward flank. And for Sandy Bay, it is Brooke Miller and Molly Crosby. Very, very entertaining. It's been a bit of an arm wrestle, hasn't it, Bo?
Well, it certainly has, Hoppy, and no one's really gave an inch. It's only 12 points the margin here, with both teams being a little bit inaccurate in front of goals. Sandy Bay leaning a little bit more towards the inaccuracy, and they'll be looking to improve that by Supercoach Hammond.
Okay, so we're going to take our half-time break now here from the TC. It is the gala day for the under-18 ladies. We'll be back with you very shortly. 16 minutes is up. The long kick comes in. Oh, brilliant mark there by Bowen. Perhaps she's the shortest player there, Bo, and she stood tall and took that mark. Absolutely terrific play there by Misha Bowen. This is where Sandy Bay have been good. Numbers across this half-forward line. It's a quick scoop up, end-over-end stuff. And it's just been touched through for a goal. Well, that's terrific. We'll have a look at that, Bo, on the move.
Yeah, when he's not doing this stuff, Jerry might umpire as well.
Oh, he'd be like the professor, as Mead is beset upon. Goes back in to get the ball. Weighted numbers. Look at the Bay rushing at the ball. Strong tackle and great reward. That might be just the fillip that they need to the Bombers. They need someone to inspire them, to get them lifted. You've got someone who is near and dear to you, and we haven't called their name, but we'll do our best to bring you all the correctness very, very shortly. As might have been just a sling there, Bo, and that's the second time that's happened for...
It'll sort itself out, but they're a very good team, Sandy Bay, so it's going to be hard, but just keep fighting.
Great to have that insight there, as it was Edmund trying to force her way to the contest. Crosby deep into that attacking area. They have been relentless, have Sandy Bay, and finally through just weight of balls going inside their 50, they were able to slot that one through for a goal. Says that's more than a push as far as I can see. That was a throw, as a scoop. And unfortunately, Meads, I guess the learning experience there is to clinch the fist and just try and basically bludgeon the ball as best you can, as Barwin. She's been very good for Lauderdale. Comes back over the top. Layla Nichols tried to get it. Stevenson's there. Get it out to Stevenson. She knows she's going to run towards the goals. Now she's free. She gets a quick kick to it. And Stevenson has put it through. And here come the Bombers. She is a speedster and looks a likely type, Bo, doesn't she?
Yeah, certainly does, Hoppy. And just the way that she caressed around the pack there, fend off. We'll see it on the Mood Food replay in a second, but we'll just go here. We'll analyse this because it's just great forward pressure. A little bit like Jack Ginnivan with the hair, Hoppy, but shrugs off one and then dribble kick, falling over. It's never easy when you're on your way down, but great job.
It's just great.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart Chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart Chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So we're back here at the TCA for the second half in the big game between traditional rivals Lauderdale and Sandy Bay in the under-18 Barwick's STJFL game of the day. It's been a wonderful exhibition of football by the young ladies in the last game, of course, Bo. It was a ripping encounter which was very even for the first part of that first quarter, and then it was probably in all of the first quarter, and then North Hobart did show some dominance and some wonderful football, didn't they?
They certainly did, Hoppy, and it's been a very good day of gala footy. 2 blowouts, and let's hope that this game doesn't blow out like we hope.
You would think that they probably will try and wrestle this one back, you'd think, was the Bombers. And one young lady who's been very good for the Bombers, either be in the ruck or down back, has been Weber, number 22. We've just sort of should mention her. She was one of the young ladies that, had a bit of a Guernsey change, and we weren't really quite sure. And we finally got the full confirmation of that as Rawson has taken a really, really good mark.
50.
Oh, this is costly.
Lindsay's paid it. Was it 50 or 25, Hoppy?
No, he went back to 25, and all of a sudden he's just said, oh, it's a 50, is it? Yes, so back he goes. So taken all the way back, and this will give Lauderdale a bit of an opportunity to go really forward. Not sure what it was for, but anyway.
Overstepping the mark, I think.
Yeah, big long kick. Comes in. Fighting hard for it. Stevenson at the bottom there. Handball back out. Quick kick. Sandy Bay just seeming to have the numbers, but I tell you what, you're going to have to do a good job to get it past Barwon. Barwon's been one of the very best players on the field here today. She certainly has stood out the way she has just run and run all day. Mead trying to bullock her way forward. Sandy Bay have the numbers back here with Crosby across half back. She got that goal in the first quarter, right at the death knell prior to the siren sounding. Mead, big tap out. And Sandy Bay are able to clear that ball. They love to try and get the first goal for Lauderdale to really put some pressure on the Bay, but it seemingly at the moment they have all the answers down there at the moment, Sandy Bay. Every time that Lauderdale look to be knocking on the door, Sandy Bay just somehow find a way. It is Webber in the ruck here for Lauderdale. Just checking on the stats that Jerry's just passed over, Bo. She's already got 17 tap outs, so she's doing a great work in the ruck.
Yeah, equally as well as Jerry, always on top of it, the great man.
He certainly is, as Edmund just mopped that one up across that half-back line. It's probably just been the kick that goes into the 50, Bo, that it's probably been the difference. The one that comes in here to Lauderdale has been into a confusing ball, whereas Sandy Bay have seemed to have a little bit more space.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's they just haven't looked rushed, Sandy Bay.
Whereas that kick there, which is good to put the chaos ball in, as it comes towards that back of the pack. Sandy Bay, Lauderdale, as they pick this one up, big, strong tackle, trying to do some work in there, and again, getting the numbers back. There is Nichols. Nichols screws it back towards the goal, and Nichols has been able to put that one through for a goal, and that certainly brought the big crowd here at the TCA to their feet. Gee, that was a very, very nice goal. As we'll have a look at that one, Bo, on the Mood Food replay. See here, ball in dispute. Goes through the hands here. Just trying to keep the ball alive. Sandy Bay get that handball out. And going on to the left foot. And I know the CEO of Duff TV, Martin Duffy, will absolutely love that, because he likes to see players go on the wrong side of their body, and that's exactly what Layla Nichols did. And we just checked the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which shows Lauderdale 2-2-14. They are coming hard at Sandy Bay, who are 2-8-20. Ball on the wing.
Nice,
Tries the first, don't argue. Does the second, don't argue, and able to get away with it. Out towards Mead. Another strong tackle. She'll try and push her way forward. Isn't able to come out, so there is Edmund. Sandy Bay again picked that up through Wilcox. Wilcox just bludgeons it forward. Not with any great finesse, but valuable meterage towards Parsons. Barwon's at the bottom there, and Barwon is going to be rewarded for her efforts of putting her body on the line. It is Barwon taking it off, and Sandy Bay standing tall, and Gracie Hooper takes a very nice mark. Barwon again. Traditionally always looks to bring someone into it. Coming out is Stevenson. Tries to get the handball. You can see a bump. Stevenson now gets a quick kick back into an attacking area for Lauderdale. Another one in dispute, just falling to the knees. A great learning experience there, Bo, as you try to keep your feet. So when you come into the tackle, I'll get Jerry just to get that one again on the Mood Food replay. Just when you come in onto the tackle, we can just watch here, and falling to the knees, and then you're out of the contest and you're over the back. So that's one to watch. Sandy Bay now. They take possession of the ball through O'Donoghue. And he goes as far as Edmund. Edmund gets the quick shuffle kick over. Howard's out here for Lauderdale. Good contest here as Howard is beaten to the ball that by Badenek. Badenek always creates well, and she's always a very good kick of the football is Badenek. Lauderdale under the pump. Rawson's back there. Clifford as well. Back on the half-back flank. It was Ava Rawson who went in very, very hard for the footy. Bullocking her way forward there is Webber. Webber with a big, strong tackle. Umpire had his whistled his mouth and decided better of it to play on. Oh, came over the back. That is wonderful tackle there. That'll be on the highlights reel for sure. That I thought was going to be a goal, but wasn't. It was Ward. Ward goes to get it again, and well, I can't believe from that passage of play, Bo, that Sandy Bay haven't scored a goal.
Yeah, they were looking likely as we see Brooke Miller's kick smothered. Probably should have been a goal.
Very much so. You can see here Mead, another strong tackle on Miller. Spills to O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue gets it now back inside the 50, but Barwin is back there. Looks like she might get a bit of a give and go here. Well, she just goes to get it herself. She just does not stop running, is Barwin. Tackled and held up in the play. Just there, that tackle there, that is one for the highlight reel for sure. A run down and tackle, Bo. I know I love my high marks, but when you see someone for all money was going to kick a goal, that's great defensive work there by the Bombers.
Bit of Nick Rewalt in the 2010 Grand Final from Heath Shaw, I would have thought. Hoppy.
Very much so. I did have the Shaws about it. As what are we here, Bo? We're 8 minutes in. As that kick comes in deep into the attacking area. Barwin's back there for the Bombers. Ball in dispute. Comes on the bottom of the pack. All the girls are being told to play on. Also, it's Webber who's there for Lindisfarne. As it's gone out of play, I'm not sure. I think it's Sandy Bay kick.
Sun just starting to come out a little bit now. Hoppy, late in the afternoon.
Gee, we'd like to see a little bit more. I don't think it's going to get too much warmer somehow, Bo, given that, what is it, 4:05 in the afternoon. Absolutely in the very, very
freezing.
Late autumn. It's been a good day of footy. Interesting round of football here in the STJFL. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We've brought the 3 big games of under-18 girls footy. The future of Tasmanian football is bright as Nell Terry gets that ball in to Parsons. Parsons kicks back towards the goal and just taking it, but then is tackled was Appleby, and unfortunately, talking of learning experiences there, Bo, maybe the old just sneaking it through for a point, where now there is a big chance for Sandy Bay to get a goal.
Didn't like that either, the Lauderdale player. Gave it a little bit of stick. But yeah, it's been a great day. So we've obviously had a big name in Maddie Lamb, who might get drafted, as we see a goal coming from
Evans Gregg, I think.
Evans Gregg, that's right.
Nice kick by the Hyphen.
Might have just gave it back to her opponent there, which I don't blame. But yeah,
look at this rundown play here.
Bang.
Just, I guess it's just a little bit of awareness there, isn't it? You know you're hot, and that's great. This is where this footage will be invaluable. No doubt about that. I think that might have been Appleby back there, who did a great job to take possession. Really good job.
Nice
and then
kick.
in her attempt to get the ball clear, the great chase down by Lily Evans Gregg, and it resulted in a good goal there to Sandy Bay, which sees them on the Brighton's best Bakehouse scoreboard go to 3-8-26 to 2-2-14.
Goal umpire did the double barrel shotgun there as well, Hoppy.
I didn't see that, but I'll be very, very impressed. I'll keep an eye out next time that ball does go through, as we are working our way to about 11 minutes into the third quarter here at the TCA.
Ooh.
Tackling has certainly been a strong feature here today. Bailey dispossessed. Every time someone picks up that footy, it's been very, very hot, because look at the tackling there, Bo. I tell you what, I don't think you'd fare too well out there.
I reckon I'll be ripped in half, Hoppy. It's been a very big contest, and watching the new Norfolk game, which I commentated by myself with you as well, the bumps back, which I don't know if it's good, but they've definitely kept it pretty even, shoulder on shoulder, no head-eye collisions, which is great to see.
No, very much so. It's been good, clean football, as that ball was taken in by Nichols, who as soon as she took possession was beset upon by a couple of her Sandy Bay opposition, and didn't have any time and space. Barwin, she goes in. Gee, she's battled so hard. Gets that quick kick away. Lovely attack on the onion there by Terry. Didn't get a kick, but goes back into getting in. Wilcox now follows up the play. Sandy Bay going just towards their inside 50. Barwin grabs it, gets that quick kick around. Just need a few more contributors across the board here, I reckon, from Lauderdale to see them get back into this game. They certainly aren't out of it, Bo, but it's been just maybe one or two who are really trying. If you just get a couple more percent out of a couple more players, and they'll be right back in this game.
Yeah, 4 inside 50s to 3, so it's been pretty even.
Yep.
Most of it's been played in the middle of the ground this quarter.
So, Barwin takes possession. Good play by here and a good kick towards Nichols. Maybe just an observation here, the half forwards for Lauderdale, I reckon, need to come up a little bit, Bo, there, because there's a lot of extra midfielders there for the base. That means probably that they've got some spares, Lauderdale, in their back line. So maybe
standing.
The forwards need to come up a bit higher.
There's a lot of standing in this Lauderdale 50 not coming up, creating pressure, which is not great to see.
That's just one thing they'll probably work on. I know Coach Mead will probably be keeping a close eye on that one, as Sandy Bay are able to get that kick, and it's a very nice kick. Goes, excuse me, end over end. Ball in dispute now. Mead through great determination and strength. Barwin there, just hunts the footy. She's a ripper. Pace, dedication to the caper. She's only young in the under 18 division, and you can see there, strong tackle, and it's Clifford, and I think that's Banksmith that end up with the ball and a ball up. Mead gets the tap. Strong tackle there by Clifford. Excuse me. Quick kick there by the Bay. That's Parsons trying to get it into their forward 50. Can't do so here. Here it again is, Webber for Lauderdale. Webber follows a fine work up there. You can see a big attempt to try and get that ball out. It's not going anywhere. She's a good athlete, is Webber. Got a bit of height about her. Good vertical leap as well. And it's a ball up, and it's inside the Sandy Bay 50.
Good ruck contest. I like that.
There she goes up, but just in and around that ball, Bo. Again, it's more Sandy Bay players than Lauderdale around the contest. So that tells me that they're working harder than their opposition. So it is Parsons. Parsons plays on, gets that big right pendulum swinging, goes out to the front of the pack. Miller is there, tries to get the kick away, but not before the umpire comes in and asks for the ball up.
That one's going to hurt on a cold day. It's going to leave a red mark, I reckon, that smother.
What's happened here?
It was the smother.
So it's a free kick.
Yeah, free kick.
I didn't see what the free kick
Yeah.
was for. As
Nice
the
looking
kick comes in, it's been told all clear, one behind. I'm not disputing the umpire, I was just looking down the side there. I just wondered what that kick was for. Let's have a look. Holding the ball.
Yep.
Okay. Because for a minute I thought that he called for a ball up, but we can't hear that, and obviously he said it is holding the ball. Had prior opportunity, as there is the siren for three-quarter time here at the TCA. It is Lauderdale 2-2-14, trailing Sandy Bay 3-9-27. For Lauderdale, it's Stevenson and Nichols with goals, and for Sandy Bay, Miller, Evans, Gregg and Crosby. So, Bo, can Lauderdale come back from here?
Well, I'm not sure, Hoppy. They're going to have a big rev up here from senior coach Christy Mead, I would have thought, and they need a few people to fire. Barwin's been so impressive this afternoon, but I reckon they can win it, Hoppy. What do you think?
Yeah, at the moment, they'd have to change a few things. I think if they can tweak it slightly, they have a chance. They just need to run a little bit harder and smarter. That at the moment, Sandy Bay are getting a few too many numbers for the ball for my liking. They've probably had the ball inside their 50 a little bit more. I look a bit more likely, but that said, Lauderdale are dangerous on the spread, and if they can get into their forward 50 quickly, and maybe if I'd try and leave Stevenson, someone like Stevenson on their own who's got a bit of pace, maybe to throw it around a little bit, give her plenty of opportunity inside that 50. But we'll find out very shortly. All our questions will be answered. But it's three-quarter time here at the TCA. We'll be back with the last quarter in just a few moments.
This program brought to you by IGA, where the locals matter.
Having trouble finding an after-hours doctor for your family? Sometimes we need medical assistance when everything is closed. In the Old Bridges Brothers Building, 71 Bathurst Street, After-Hours Dr Hobart is open every day till 10 p.m. Phone for an appointment or book online. And for added convenience, you'll also find your Hobart Chemist also open until 10. When minor accidents and illness happen, we're here for you. After-Hours Dr Hobart and your Hobart Chemist, open till 10 p.m. every day.
Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste. Brighton's best bakehouse. Delicious in every way. Loving the taste. Love it homemade. Their own recipes. Freshly baked. Brighton's best bakehouse. Love that homemade taste.
So we're back here at the TCA for the last quarter in the last game of the day. As the day is drawing to a close, it's just getting a little bit darker here at the TCA. We hope that you are enjoying our coverage. It is Lauderdale who'll be striving to make some inroads into this very substantial lead, given the conditions of the game, that Sandy Bay have been irrepressible so far. It's just this weight of numbers. That's a great spoil there by the Bombers. Brilliant play by Clifford. Now it comes out, towards Terry. Terry gets the quick kip in. It's just inadvertently socced off the ground that time by the Lauderdale defender. That was Ella Crow, and it'll be a ball up. So, Bo, you went out to the huddles. What have you got to report?
Well, Lauderdale are backing themselves in here, and I can tell you that they were quietly confident with their little 1, 2, 3 Lauderdale chant.
Had a lot of gusto. I could hear it very, very loudly from our commentary tower here.
Rose Bay High School, I would have thought.
Oh, very much so. Just tremendous scenes. Here goes Sandy Bay. Crosby goes in towards that attacking area. Looks like a couple of changes. Mead's gone back to full back. So, so it was a good spirit there in the huddle for Lauderdale.
Certainly was. Hoppy, it was a lot of gusto. As we've seen Lindsay Roberts also call with gusto today.
All right, so it was Miller. Hooks it back, and here is Mead. Mead, no one on the mark. So she plays on quickly. Good strong kick. Coming out to that outer side. Good contest to win. Appleby takes the quick kick. Good strong tackle. Mead needs to get in front, but tremendous mark taken by Evans Greg. I thought for a minute that Mead was able to spoil, and if anyone was going to spoil, it would be Sophie Mead, but it was terrific there by Evans Greg. Evans Greg just took the kick slightly. The Bay playing in front, and they are rewarded for all their efforts, and that's just what the doctor ordered if you are a Sandy Bay supporter, and there are plenty of them in the crowd. I think that was Molly Crosby, excuse me, as we see this ball come in. That was Crosby who got that kick in, and it was marked by Evans Greg. Crosby followed her work up. She's playing on the line here to the just on that goal post. As she came around here, she almost took the mark. Two Lauderdale defenders there. She broke the tackle and was able to get that goal. And I tell you what, Bo, was that the first nail in the Lauderdale coffin?
Well, you wouldn't really mind if it was, because you wouldn't be, I guess, shouted at if it was, because it's a big moment in this game.
Yeah, it certainly was, as there is Appleby. Gets it back in towards Barwin. We almost need to just double check how many Barwins out there. Is there only one of her? Because she just seems to be everywhere. As well played there by Webber. Goes back in again. Good strong tackle there by Webber. You can hear the contest. So Barwin's forward 1 minute, then trying to help out in defence in the next. Under plenty of pressure here are the Bombers, and if Sandy Bay can squeak a goal here, there'll be more trouble than the early settlers, as that ball has gone to the boundary line, and that one will be a ball up with 4 minutes gone in the last quarter here at the Gala Day at the TCA. Mead.
Oh,
It's the kick out. Hooked back by Hammond. Well played by her. Always looking to bring her teammates in is Hammond. Very unselfish player. Sandy Bay again have numbers around the footy. Lauderdale playing gallantly here, but every time they are on the ball, you can see that they're outnumbered by their opposition. So they are still running really, really hard by Sandy Bay.
yeah, that's certainly right, Hoppy. It's a big moment. One more goal, you would have thought that'd be done. Still remaining hopeful, but I know you're a big Lauderdale guy, Hoppy, so...
I know that they never say die attitude, and
Mm.
they've come back and in fact came back against Sandy Bay last time. But that should be a really good learning experience for the Lions, I would have thought. They'll be a wake up to those shenanigans again this time, I would have
A
thought.
lot of experience out there for both teams.
So here is the Bay, well handballed by Crosby.
Really like that little, it's something small, but Nell Terry there, number 2 for
Yep.
Sandy Bay. Just put a block on, didn't go for the ball, just put a block on for a teammate to get a clear path.
Yeah, just doing the team things as it is Barwon trying to inspire the Bombers. They can only seemingly get it to that wing position, and it seems to come back with interest as Edmund picks it up. Well played, Edmund. Kicks it out to the open spaces. She just has to chase the ball and go and get it again as she is in a running race with Maisie Hammond out on the wing. Wilcox comes in to help out. Barwon's still there. Barwon hooks the one back. Sandy Bay just
Nice.
have the numbers and able to steady now.
Nice mark.
Here they go. Nice looking forward thrust. Shallow into their forward line. Lauderdale over it. Good strong play there by Rawson. Rawson's been good. She's been terrific down back, Rawson. She's had a few chances to prove herself because the ball has been down there quite a bit. Still working their way forward. Here comes Sandy Bay, back inside the 50. Oh, clever mark taken there. That's Rawson, the young lady Bo I was talking about. That is a cracker of a mark, isn't it?
Brought it down, brought rain down with it, I would have thought, Hoppy. It was a very good mark.
She just put the big one duke up and then just stopped it, almost patted it, and then grabbed it again with glee. Play on, Barwon in front, good smother. So same amount of players, Barwon, Appleby, Rawson that I've been calling. They're doing a great job for Lauderdale, but there's only so many times they can stop the onslaught of Sandy Bay offensive work. And I think that was Bank Smith who's got that goal, and that might be all for the game. Gallant effort here by Lauderdale, but Sandy Bay, as we can see here on the Mood Food replay, just weight of numbers around the footy. There's a good smothering attempt, as we can see by Lauderdale's Webber. Handball was beautiful work by Nell Terry, the young lady that you just spoke about a few minutes ago, Bo, which got it across to her teammate and was able to put that one through. That was Bank Smith.
Got to go quickly here now, Lauderdale.
I certainly do. He's just checking the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, and it says Sandy Bay 5-9-39 to Lauderdale 2-2-14 as Sandy Bay, Wilcox getting it back inside the 50. Rawson tracking that one back. Quick kick over. Be careful here. Sandy Bay have all but got a bit of a sniff now. They just suddenly think we can sense we've got this one, and they're really going in for the kill. They're just not letting up at all. They are really working so hard. As talking of working hard, Misha Barwon, she has been absolutely fantastic for the Bombers so far, as it is the skipper, Mead, with a very good tap out. Tries to get it to a teammate in Barwon. Well picked up that time by Appleby. Vice captain gets it out to the half-back plank. It's really being played on Sandy Bay terms. Good tackle by Lauderdale. That was Nichols. Back through the centre now. Pushing hard. That's a terrific tackle by Madison Ward. And it's a 50, Bo, so
Lindsay's
that could
paid
be
it.
costly.
Lindsay.
You can see here on the Mood Food replay, gosh, that's a good tackle. If you put how to tackle in AFL into Google, that'll come up.
Very, very nice tackle there.
And just dropping the ball when you do have to give it back to your player as the ball comes in. And unfortunately, the Lauderdale forwards were behind, and all that hard work resulted in nothing for them. If they're going to score, here is the time. It's a very quick kick by Clifford. Stevenson is trying really hard, gets the tackle on, comes back out again. Here is Stevenson. Stevenson kicking towards the goals.
Oh,
We need someone to come in and take hold of it.
nice kick.
And look at the determination just even there by Sandy Bay. They weren't giving it away, were they? And
That's two
yes.
times that Nell Terry's put a block on for a teammate.
there were 5 Lauderdale players there, and they were all but like witches' hats. And Sandy Bay just picked it up and were just so determined to run around them. And so what have we got? Nearly, excuse me, 11 minutes gone. Rawson. There's been some absolute standout performances by some of these Lauderdale girls. Rawson's one. I'll tell you what, she could get a game in my team. And talking of good players for Lauderdale, Misha Barwin, she has been preeminent, one of the best on ground.
Absolutely.
Sandy Bay have just shared the love, really, haven't they? There've been many good players, but some absolute rippers, and we'll go through those as we're drawing to a close. Here's one of them at Brooke Miller. But the good thing about Sandy Bay, Bo, it's a good even spread, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, it certainly is.
so many good players.
Nice and even. We speak about this young lady here in Terra. Oh, that's a pumping tackle. Didn't get paid, but saw off that. But yeah, their defence has been brilliant. Their forward line has been even better. And in the engine room, it's been your Nell Terrys, your Parsons, also your Hammonds. They've just all been.
They've just shared it around. I
ridiculously
think
good.
that's the good thing. I think Coach Hammond would be thrilled with his charges today, because he hasn't been reliant on any one person. That's the sort of thing that it's been such a good team performance as Lauderdale come inside their 50. Again, ball in dispute. There's a big chance for them as Nichols tries to screw that one around. Excuse me. Getting close towards that boundary line. Even just keeping it in front. This is good play by Sandy Bay. That was Badeneck again. Terrific work by her. She didn't pick the ball up, but just kept it going, and I reckon gained about 30 valuable metres as now Sophie Lang grabs that footy. So Lang goes deep inside the 50. Good entry. Forwards love that sort of thing. Here is Hammond, very evasive. Just left without the ball on that particular time. But look at the recovery of Sandy Bay. In hard is Hammond again. Just great determination by her. Good contest here. It is Lauderdale via Edmund, who can't pick it up. Barwin comes in. This time she gets the free kick as her opponent has gone over. And there you can see, Bo, it is 10 forward entries to 5 in this last quarter.
Absolutely peppered them in the inside 50 count, and we thank Jerry for that. And yeah, absolutely peppering the Sandy Bay 50 as they go long into the middle, seeing if they can produce something. But
here we go. We need some inspiration from the Lauderdale forwards who have finally moved up. Just slipped over that particular time. But even you can see there, though, when they slip over Sandy Bay, there's still 3 or 4 around the contest. So that's what we spoke about, a good team performance today, which I'm sure Coach Hammond would be thrilled with.
Yeah, certainly would. And I might tip these guys for the premiership, Hoppy. It's a very big call, I know, but they're just such a complete outfit. And
they are.
I know you're a bit biased to Lauderdale, which is fine, but I would have thought that these guys are just such a complete outfit.
Oh, well, I'm sure Coach Ransom for North Hobart will be watching this now. Of course, the reigning premier is Lauderdale. They've got a couple out and a few playing for the Devils that they might get back. I think they'll only get better as the season goes on, but Sandy Bay just look fantastic here, and I guess the job in front of Coach Hammond is just to keep them purring along at this particular level as Stevenson is there. Stevenson grabs it. Big chance for Stevenson. Hooks towards the goal, and Stevenson has kicked that, and that's Stevenson's second goal. Nice work there, and that's great reward, I reckon, there, Bo, for the Lauderdale small forward.
Yeah, definitely right. You just see he gets to the front of the pack there, bleached blonde hair, just doesn't give up. Didn't get shouldered off the ball either, which is miraculous for someone as tiny. But a great goal, snap around the body, and she's already kicked a dribbler before Hoppy. So two snaps around, I guess, specialist shots, proving as a very good small forward.
Oh, very much so. I'm sure that's really something for Coach Mead to work with, that never give up attitude. If there is a loss to be had, it's so wonderful if you can get that last goal, though. It's something you can work on during the week to think to yourself you take it into next week's game, as Clifford gets that quick kick. Again, Sandy Bay have numbers round the ball, comes back towards Miller. We know Miller's going to run. She's a very, very good athlete, comes over the back. This is where Sandy Bay have been so dangerous, because as soon as it hits the ground, they've got so many players in and around the contest, and it'll be a ball up deep towards the end of this game now.
It's good that we've seen a tight game here, as the siren will blow in a minute, and another goal consolation to Tamsin Rogers, and that'll finish what they started. A very good game here for Sandy Bay, but it wasn't a blowout by any stretch. 25 points to the margin. Hoppy, very, very good game of football to watch. It
certainly was. You can see Sandy Bay, they're thrilled with their work. We're just going to check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which shows Sandy Bay 6-9-54, defeating Lauderdale 3-2-20. Goal scorers for Sandy Bay, a couple to Crosby and singles to Banksmith, Evans, Gregg, Rogers and Miller. And for the vanquished, it is Stevenson with a couple and Nichols. But to Bo, a very, very polished performance there by Sandy Bay. Yeah,
it certainly was. They look just a lot of areas that they were good in, Hoppy this afternoon, and very gallant in defeat Lauderdale as well, it must be said, and Christy Mead has a lot to work with, a shining young forward line, and the back line held up reasonably well today, I thought. Yeah, for Lauderdale, Stevenson with a couple of goals. I thought Appleby didn't stop trying. The other young lady I liked, of course, was Webber and Rawson down back, but for my money, Misha Barwin was a standout for the Bombers. And for Sandy Bay, this is where it gets tricky, and you're probably thinking, oh, come on, you got to pick them out. But it was such an even, they were just so good, whether it be, Miller, Lang, O'Donoghue, Wilcox, Rogers, Evans, Gregg, Nell Terry again. Such a good spread of players for Sandy Bay, which I'm sure Coach Stuart Hammond would be absolutely thrilled with. So, Bo, that's all from us here at the TCA. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we hope that you have enjoyed today's coverage coming to you from the TCA. It has been our pleasure to bring it to you, the Barwick's STJFL Gala Day in the Under-18 division, from our premium partners IGA, Your Hobart Health, Bennett's Petroleum, Mood Food and Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboards, the old Silver Fox in the Alan Appleton Tower, wishing you a very, very good night, and we look forward to our next coverage when we meet in the next few weeks. 16 minutes is up. The long kick comes in. Oh, brilliant mark there by Barwin. She's the shortest player there, Bo, and she stood tall and took that mark. Absolutely terrific play there by Misha Barwin. This is where Sandy Bay have been good. Numbers across this half forward line. It's a quick scoop up, end over end stuff, and it's just been touched through for a goal. Well, that's terrific. We'll have a look at that, Bo, on the move. Yeah, when he's not doing this stuff, Jerry might umpire as well.
Oh, he'd be like the professor, as Mead is beset upon. Goes back in to get the ball. Weighted numbers. Look at the Bay rushing at the ball. Strong tackle and great reward. That might be just the fillip that they need to the Bombers. They need someone to inspire them, to get them lifted. You've got someone who is near and dear to you, and we haven't called their name, but we'll do our best to bring you all the correctness very, very shortly. As might have been just a sling there, Bo, and that's the second time that's happened for...
It'll sort itself out, but they're a very good team, Sandy Bay, so it's going to be hard, but just keep fighting.
Great to have that insight there, as it was Edmund trying to force her way to the contest. Crosby deep into that attacking area. They have been relentless, have Sandy Bay, and finally through just weight of balls going inside their 50, they were able to slot that one through for a goal. Says that's more than a push as far as I can see. That was a throw, as a scoop. And unfortunately, Meads, I guess the learning experience there is to clinch the fist and just try and basically bludgeon the ball as best you can as Barwon. She's been very good for Lauderdale. Comes back over the top. Layla Nichols tried to get it. Stevenson's there. Get it out to Stevenson. You know she's going to run towards the goals. Now she's free. She gets a quick kick to it. And Stevenson has put it through. And here come the Bombers. She is a speedster and looks a likely type, Bo, doesn't she?
Yeah, certainly does, Hoppy. And just the way that she caressed around the pack there, fend off. We'll see it on the Mood Food replay in a second, but we'll just go here, we'll analyse this because it's just great forward pressure. A little bit like Jack Ginnivan with the hair, Hoppy, but shrugs off one and then dribble kick, falling over. It's never easy when you're on your way down, but great job.
They seem to have a little bit more space.
Yeah, I think you're right. They just haven't looked rushed, Sandy Bay.
Whereas that kick there, which is good to put the chaos ball in, as it comes towards that back of the pack. Sandy Bay, Lauderdale, as they pick this one up. Big, strong tackle. Trying to do some work in there and again getting the numbers back. There is Nichols. Nichols screws it back towards the goal, and Nichols has been able to put that one through for a goal, and that certainly brought the big crowd here at the TCA to their feet. Gee, that was a very, very nice goal. As we'll have a look at that one, though. Tackled and held up in the play. Just there, that tackle there, that is one for the highlight reel for sure. A run down and tackle, Bo. I know I love my high marks, but when you see someone for all money was going to kick a goal, that's great defensive work there by the Bombers.
Bit of Nick Rewalt in the 2010.
It's been a good day of footy. Interesting round of football here in the STJFL. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage. We've brought the 3 big games of under-18 girls footy. The future of Tasmanian football is bright as Nell Terry gets that ball in to Parsons. Parsons kicks back towards the goal and just taking it, but then is tackled was Appleby, and unfortunately, talking of learning experiences there, Bo, maybe the old just sneaking it through for a point, where now there is a big chance for Sandy Bay to get a goal.
Didn't like that either, the Lauderdale player. Gave it a little bit of stick. But yeah, it's been a great day to have. Obviously had a big name in Maddie Lamb, who might get drafted as we see the goal coming from
Evans Gregg, I think.
Evans Gregg, that's right.
Nice kick by the Hyphen.
Might have just gave it back to her opponent there, which I don't blame. But yeah,
look at this rundown. Good contest to win. Appleby takes the quick kick, good strong tackle. Mead needs to get in front, but tremendous mark taken by Evans Gregg. I thought for a bit, still working their way forward. Here comes Sandy Bay, back inside the 50. Oh, clever mark taken there. That's Rawson, the young lady Bo I was talking about. That is a cracker of a mark, isn't it?
Brought it down, brought rain down with it, I would have thought, Hoppy. It was a very good mark.
She just put the big one duke up and then just stopped it, almost patted it, and then grabbed it again with glee. Play on, Barwon in front, good smother. So same amount of players, Barwon, Appleby, Rawson that I've been calling. They're doing a great job for Lauderdale, but there's only so many times they can stop the onslaught of Sandy Bay offensive work. And I think that was Bank Smith who's got that goal, and that might be all for the game. Gallant effort here by Lauderdale, but Sandy Bay, as we can see here on the Mood Food replay, just weight of numbers around the footy. There's a good smothering attempt, as we can see by Lauderdale's Webber. Handball was beautiful work by Nell Terry, the young lady that you just spoke about a few minutes ago, Bo, which got it across to back through the centre now. Pushing hard. That's a terrific tackle by Madison Ward. And it's a 50, Bo, so
Lindsay's
that could
paid
be
it.
costly.
Lindsay.
You can see here on the Mood Food replay, the reigning premier is Lauderdale. They've got a couple out and a few playing for the Devils that they might get back. I think they'll only get better as the season goes on, but Sandy Bay just look fantastic here, and I guess the job in front of Coach Hammond is just to keep them purring along at this particular level as Stevenson is there. Stevenson grabs it. Big chance for Stevenson. Hooks towards the goal, and Stevenson has kicked that, and that's Stevenson's second goal. Nice work there, and that's great reward, I reckon, there, Bo, for the Lauderdale small forward. Athlete comes over the back. This is where Sandy Bay have been so dangerous, because as soon as it hits the ground, they've got so many players in and around the contest, and it'll be a ball up deep towards the end of this game now.
It's good that we've seen a tight game here, as the siren will blow in a minute, and another goal consolation to Tamsin Rogers, and that'll finish what they started. A very good game here for Sandy Bay, but it wasn't a blowout by any stretch. 25 points to the margin. Hoppy, very, very good game of football to watch. It
certainly was. You can see Sandy Bay, they're thrilled with their work. We're just going to check the Brighton's Best Bakehouse scoreboard, which shows Sandy Bay 6-9-54, defeating Lauderdale 3-2-20. Goal scorers for Sandy Bay, a couple to Crosby and Siegel.